Dear students, good morning to all. Hope you all are fine. We are having today's offline class about breathing and exchange of gases. Let's have the introduction first. You know that all the activities of an animal require energy, which is derived from the breakdown of nutrient molecules like glucose. During this catabolic reaction, that is the breakdown of a complex molecule into simpler components, glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide and water in the presence of oxygen, and energy is released in the form of ATP. This energy is utilized by the animal to carry out bodily functions. The carbon dioxide produced by the cells during catabolic reactions is harmful and toxic to the body cells, so it is eliminated out of the body. This process of exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with carbon dioxide produced by the cells is called breathing. Breathing or breathing is simply defined as intake of fresh air and removal of foul air, that is carbon dioxide, whereas respiration is defined as process of oxidation of food, that is glucose, to form carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Breathing includes inspiration and expiration. Inspiration means to inhale or to breathe in, and expiration means to exhale or to breathe out. Whenever air enters into the chest, it raises up, and when air exhales out, it goes down. Now, the respiratory organs. What are the various respiratory organs or structures in different animals? The organs meant for the process of respiration are called respiratory organs. Different animals have different respiratory organs or structures depending upon their two main features. Number one, habitat. You know, habitat is the living or dwelling place of an animal. The nature of respiratory organs depends on the habitat of an animal. For example, fishes live in water, so they have gills to respire. Reptiles live on land and they respire through lungs. Now, second feature, level of organization. According to the level of organization of animals, breathing mechanism varies. For example, poriferians have cellular level of organization. In them, no well developed tissues, organs are present. That is why they can exchange oxygen with carbon dioxide by simple diffusion over their entire body surface. Simple diffusion means the movement of molecules from their higher concentration region to their lower concentration region. Now, nature of respiratory organs in lower invertebrates. In coelenterate, cell surface gaseous exchange takes place. In these animals, cells are in direct contact with the environment. Respiratory organs are absent in these lower animals as they do not have a connective tissue like blood to transport gases. Oxygen dissolved in water passes into the cells through diffusion, while carbon dioxide liberated by the organisms diffuses out of the cells into the surrounding water through the cell surface. Earthworms use their moist cuticle as their respiratory organ. Cuticle is the outermost covering of the body and utilized for the simple diffusion of gases. It is thin, moist, and vascular so that diffusion of gases takes place easily. Insects like cockroach have a network of tubes which is known as tracheal system to transport atmospheric air within the body. These tubes have small openings known as spiracles through which oxygen enters inside the body of insect and carbon dioxide goes outside the body. Aquatic arthropods such as crayfish, prawn and mollusks like unu respire by specialized vascularized structures known as gills. These are plate-like or filamentous and highly vasculated, means well supplied with blood vessels, bathed with water for exchange of gases. Nature of respiratory organs in vertebrates. Fishes use gills as respiratory organs. They have aquatic mode of life and their gills are bathed with water for exchange of gases. Amphibians have dual mode of life, that is, they can live in water as well as on land, so accordingly their respiratory organs differ. For example, frogs can respire by their moist skin, buccal cavity, and lungs as they live on land, and its larval form, that is tadpole, which lives in water, respires through gills. Reptiles, birds, and mammals use specialized structures known as lungs. These are commonly known as vascularized bags, as these are well supplied with blood vessels. Respiratory system is well developed in these vertebrates as they have more complex body. Table showing respiratory organs in different animals. The heading is there: animal respiratory organ or system, and examples. Lower invertebrates. They don't have well defined respiratory organs present. Exchange of gases by simple diffusion. For example, sponges, coelentrates, flatworms. In some lower invertebrates, they have moist, thin, and vascular cuticle for exchange of gases. For example, earthworm. Tracheal system, network of tubes. For example, insects like cockroach. Gills, plate-like or filaments and vascularized structures. They are present in aquatic arthropods like crayfish, prawn, and mollusks like unu for respiration. We have vertebrates, for example, fishes, they have gills. Examples are cartilaginous and bony fishes. Amphibians, they have gills as their respiratory organs. Example, tadpole, larva, frog. Amphibians also have moist skin, lungs, buccal cavity. Examples, frogs, toads, etc. Reptiles have lungs, for example, snakes, lizards, etc. Birds have lungs as respiratory organs, for example, pigeon, sparrow, etc. Humans do have lungs for respiration, that is the mammals. Mammals, they possess lungs for respiration. Examples are the humans. So this was about the breathing and gaseous exchange or breathing and respiration chapter. This was about respiratory organs in different animals. Next topic will follow in next class. Thanks.